All right. So you thinking about Polygon?
Polygon.
Yeah. Or, MATIC.
Right.
Could this be the one that hits $10 by 2030?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
$10.
$10.
Wow.
Well, we found this article from newscryptocurrency.com.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're predicting just that.
Wow.
The title of the article is Polygon, POL, Price Prediction for November 2024, 2030, 2050.
Okay.
Really rolls right off the tongue.
It does. Catchy.
Yeah, but before we get ahead of ourselves,
Sure.
we should probably unpack this a little bit.
I think that's a good idea because you're right to be cautious about price predictions.
Yeah.
Nobody has a crystal ball.
Right.
But what I like about this article is it goes beyond just hype.
Okay.
And it digs into the reasons behind those predictions,
Okay.
the factors that could drive Polygon's price up, or maybe send it tumbling down.
Yeah, sure.
So think of it as a
Okay.
detective novel for the crypto world.
Ooh, I like that.
A crypto mystery.
A crypto mystery.
Yeah,
We're going to solve it right here.
exactly.
But first, let's back up a little bit, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Sure.
Some of our listeners might be thinking, Polygon. Sounds like a geometry class.
Aha, right.
What is it?
Yeah.
How would you explain it to someone who's, brand new to crypto?
Yeah, so imagine Ethereum.
Yeah.
The big highway of the blockchain world.
The OG.
The OG, exactly.
Yeah.
Now imagine Polygon as the express lane built right alongside it.
Okay.
So it's still connected to Ethereum,
Still connected.
but it lets transactions zip by faster and cheaper.
Interesting.
So that's what we call a layer 2 solution.
Okay.
And it's a pretty big deal in making blockchain technology more efficient.
So it's like the VIP lane for Ethereum.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Less traffic, less congestion.
Makes things smoother.
I got it.
Yeah.
Now, this article mentioned something about Polygon's founders having a connection to Vitalik Buterin,
Yes.
Mr. Ethereum himself.
That's right. The founders of Polygon,
Okay.
Jayanti Kanani, Sandeep Narwal, and Anurag Arjun, were inspired by a paper called the Plasma Framework.
Okay.
And it was actually co-authored by Buterin himself, along with Joseph Poon.
Wow.
And this paper, it laid out the whole idea of using these side chains, like Polygon, to make Ethereum more scalable.
So they're all buds.
Kind of, yeah. They're all part of the...
Like the Ethereum mafia.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they're all connected.
The Polygon's not some random project, it's built on this pretty solid foundation.
Okay, so it's got some serious street cred in the Ethereum world.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But where does Polygon stand right now in the grand scheme of things?
Well, as of October 28th, 2024,
Okay.
MATIC is sitting at 0.380147.
All right.
Which, that might not sound like much.
Doesn't sound like much.
But don't let that fool you.
Okay.
It's got a hefty market cap. Ooh, hefty. How hefty?
$866,039,688.
Yeah.
Making it the 15th
Wow.
largest cryptocurrency globally.
Okay. So it's up there.
Top 15, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's had its ups and downs though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Crypto has a reputation for being a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, big time.
And MATIC is no exception.
Okay.
It's hit an all-time high of $2.92.
All right.
But it's also plunged to a low of 0.0030012.
Oof. That's
That's a wild ride.
a wild ride for any investor.
That reminds me of
Shiba.
Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inu, exactly.
Up and down, up and down.
Yeah, it's famous for its volatility.
Yeah. Definitely not for the faint of heart.
No.
But the article also mentioned something called the Fear and Greed Index.
Right.
And it seems like things are pretty chill right now.
Exactly. The index is currently at 44,
Okay.
which signals a neutral market sentiment.
Okay.
It's not overly greed, but there's no panic in the streets either.
Yeah, nobody's running around.
No, their hair on fire.
It's like the market's taking a deep breath,
Yeah.
trying to figure out its next move.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we've got this powerful tech, a team with serious Ethereum cred,
Yeah.
a market that's kind of, waiting to see what happens next.
Right. Poised for something.
Yeah. The big question is
Yeah.
now W the time to grab some MATIC?
Well, if we look at the short-term predictions for the next 30 days, the article suggests things will be relatively stable.
Okay.
They're forecasting MATIC to fluctuate between 0.32 cents and 0.42 cents.
Okay.
With an average price of around there is 37 pounds.
So no overnight Lambos in the driveway.
Haha. Probably not in the next month, at least.
Okay. All right.
But remember,
Yeah.
stability can be a good thing,
Okay.
especially in the world of crypto.
Right.
It gives you a chance to do your research.
Yeah.
understand what you're investing in,
Yeah.
and make a calculated decision.
Always good advice, but let's be honest.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know about those long-term predictions. Is this the ticket to early retirement?
The million-dollar question.
Right.
Well, the article does lay out
Yeah,
some pretty interesting year-by-year predictions.
Yeah.
From 2024 all the way to 2030.
2030, all right.
They've got minimums, maximum,
Okay.
and average price expectations for each year.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling you're really interested in that 2030 prediction.
You read my mind. Are they seriously saying MATIC could hit $10?
They are. The potential high for 2030 is a whopping $10.95.
$10.95.
$10.95.
Okay, but then they also give like a low-end prediction too, right?
Right. They also predict a minimum price of $8.29 for 2030.
$8.29 to $10.95.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty big spread.
It is. It's a big range.
That makes you wonder what each expert is seeing that the other one isn't.
Exactly right.
But still, even that minimum prediction is pretty impressive.
It is.
So what's fueling all this optimism?
Right.
Why are the experts so bullish on Polygon?
That's where things get really interesting.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll find out what's driving all the hype around Polygon and why some experts think it could be a game changer.
One of the biggest reasons for all the excitement is Polygon's focus on solving those Ethereum traffic jams we talked about.
Right.
You remember how as more people use Ethereum,
Yeah.
those roads get more congested?
Yeah, makes sense.
Transactions slow down?
So it's like Polygon is building a whole network of express lanes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Keeping things moving smoothly even when Ethereum gets busy.
Okay, I got it.
And as Ethereum grows, the need for solutions like Polygon only becomes more critical.
Right.
You know, that's why experts are so bullish on its long-term potential.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's not just about Ethereum.
Okay.
Polygon is also positioning itself as a key player in Web3,
Web3. Okay.
DeFi.
DeFi.
And NFTs.
Okay, so we're not just talking about speeding up transactions.
Yeah.
We're talking about like a whole new internet
Right.
built on blockchain.
A potential future where Polygon is like the foundation for a whole new internet.
Yeah, that's pretty mind-blowing
It is.
when you think about it.
And it gets even more interesting when you consider the growing adoption of blockchain by governments and big institutions.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, as more of these heavy hitters enter the crypto space,
Yeah.
it brings a level of legitimacy and stability.
So it's like a rising tide that lifts all boats.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And then you have real-world examples like the partnership between Lemon and Polygon,
Lemon, okay.
showing how this technology can be used to solve actual problems.
So they're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk.
Exactly. They're putting it into action.
Now, remember how we talked about a MATIC's price drop in 2022?
Yes.
Well, that was partly due to the overall crypto market.
Right. It wasn't just Polygon.
Yeah.
It was like a ripple effect across the entire crypto world.
Like a crypto winter.
Exactly. There were some big macroeconomic factors at play.
Okay, like what kind of factor?
Like rising interest rates, inflation. That made investors nervous,
Makes sense.
which led to sell-offs across the board.
Okay, so it wasn't just Polygon specific.
Right. It was a broader market trend.
Okay.
But even after that dip,
Yeah.
MATIC showed some resilience,
All right.
recovering throughout 2023.
So even though there are risks,
Yeah,
it's also shown an ability to bounce back.
exactly. It's weathered the storm.
Okay, that's good.
But, you know, the article didn't just rely on one source for those price predictions.
Oh, really?
Right. It actually pulls together opinions from several different experts.
Okay, and how those opinions differ.
Well, some are more bullish than others. For
Okay.
example, Wallet Investor is a bit more cautious,
Okay.
predicting a year-end price of 0.46 cents for 2024.
Okay, so not everyone is convinced it's going to the moon next year.
Nope, not quite yet.
Okay.
But then you have Price Prediction,
Okay.
who are way more optimistic,
Okay.
forecasting a minimum of $1.16 for 2024.
Wow, so that's almost a triple
It is
difference in their predictions.
a huge discrepancy. It just goes to show that even the experts can disagree.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why it's so important to do your own research and not just blindly follow any one prediction.
Right.
You got to look at all the angles.
Okay, so you've got some experts saying slow and steady,
Right.
others saying to the moon.
Exactly.
Any other interesting perspectives in there?
Well, GOV Capital thinks MATIC will hit 0.95 cents after a year.
Okay, so kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, you could say that.
Right.
Then there's Digital Coin Price,
Okay.
which predicts a minimum of $1.66 and a maximum of $1.74 by the end of the year.
Okay.
So a bit more bullish than GOV Capital.
Okay.
but not quite as high as price prediction.
So we've got a whole range of opinions here.
A whole spectrum.
It's like choose your own adventure for crypto predictions.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
But with all these different viewpoints,
yeah,
it's clear that predicting the future of crypto
right.
is anything but certain.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to remember that any investment in crypto carries risk. There are no guarantees.
Okay.
And these predictions are just educated guesses based on what we know today.
Right. No one has a crystal ball.
Nope.
Especially in the world of crypto.
Especially in crypto.
So we've talked about the good,
yeah,
the bad, and the potentially amazing.
The amazing.
What's the bottom line?
Right.
What should our listeners be thinking about as they process all this information?
I think the most important takeaway is that Polygon is a really interesting project with a lot of potential.
Okay.
It's not just about chasing quick profits.
Okay.
It's about being part of something that could fundamentally change the way we interact with technology.
I like that.
You know, it's about looking beyond the hype and understanding the core value proposition.
Yeah, but let's be real.
Yeah.
That potential $10 price tag in 2030
Oh, yeah.
is pretty tempting.
I get it. It's exciting to think about.
Yeah.
But even with all this potential, we have to remember that Polygon, like any crypto, faces potential risks.
Right.
Competition being a big one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know, the crypto world is like the Wild West.
Yeah.
With new projects popping up all the time.
So some other project could come along and offer a better solution.
Exactly.
Faster, cheaper.
Right. Innovation in this space is happening at warp speed.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up.
It's impossible to say for sure whether Polygon will be able to hold its leading position in the long run.
It's like a high-stakes race, and they got to stay ahead.
Exactly. And then there's the whole regulatory landscape.
Oh, yeah, the government.
Governments around the world are still trying to figure out how to handle cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, it seems like they're always a step behind.
It's a constantly evolving situation.
Yeah.
And any big changes in regulations could have a ripple effect across the entire market, including Polygon.
Right. The regulatory landscape is always a bit of a wild card.
It is. It's hard to predict what governments will do and how those decisions will impact the crypto world.
What else should investors be aware of?
Well, you always have to consider the inherent risks of blockchain technology itself.
Okay, like what?
Things like security breaches or bugs in the code.
Right.
Those could potentially impact the value of any cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that makes sense.
MATIC included.
So it's not just about picking the right project.
No.
It's also about understanding the risks of the technology itself.
Exactly. It's like investing in the early days of the internet.
Right.
There was so much potential.
Yeah.
But also a lot of unknowns and risks.
It's like the Wild West.
Exactly.
But that's also where the excitement is, right?
Exactly. That's what makes it so interesting.
Okay, so to sum it all up,
Yeah.
we've explored Polygon's potential, its connection to Ethereum, its past performance, those exciting price predictions, and even the risks involved.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah. What's the final verdict? Is it a buy, a sell, or a hold?
That is the $1 million question, and unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah, nobody does.
Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to invest in Polygon is a personal one.
Okay.
You have to consider your own risk tolerance, your investment goals, and your overall understanding of the crypto market.
Right. So we're giving you the information.
Yeah.
And then you got to make your own decision.
We're equipping you with the knowledge you need to make informed decisions.
Perfect.
It's like we've given you the pieces of the puzzle.
Okay.
Now it's up to you to put them together and see the bigger picture.
I like that it's a good analogy.
It's all about connecting the dots.
And if you want to dive even deeper, check out that newscryptocurrency.com article we mentioned.
They have a lot of great information in there.
Yeah, they go into a lot of detail.
Those detailed price predictions, all the different experts.
It's a good read.
And remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation.
Right.
The world of crypto is constantly changing.
Yeah, so true.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode.
It was a great discussion.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
We did.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Polygon.
My pleasure.
We'll be back next time with another fascinating topic from the world of blockchain and beyond.